What's going on, y'all? It's Jay Small Reviews here, back at it again. I'm with another one-off recap. I wasn't originally going to do this, and when it comes to battles of more mid-tier talents or undercard stuff for things that aren't related to whole event recaps, it really is a matter of me picking and choosing. It would be so hard for me to be able to cover, every single one-off review, every single undercard, all battles, but I was able to get around to seeing Jerry Wess versus Lu Castro. And while Civil War II, which I didn't get a chance to talk about, I don't think, too much on this channel, but Civil War II had a little bit of a strange undercard, some mix and match matchups, but most of them ended up in apparently clear results. I haven't gotten around to seeing all the battles on the card, but I saw Jerry Wess versus Lu Castro, and man, the highlight performance that Jerry put on, how dramatic of a result it is. I just feel like there's enough to talk about here that I really wanted to break it down. I really wanted to give a battler who showed out, to the most elite level, his time to shine. So this is going to be just a quick breakdown of Jerry Wess versus Lu Castro. Without further ado, let me get right into the first round. So to start out here, Jerry comes out with some angles that we've heard before against the Lu Castros about Twerk having made him, all that. And he even comes out with some nice, little punches here. I'm even fire on my features, like a burn victim, that was cool. Banana clip on the K, that's my learning curve. So it's definitely, coming out in his first round, he's jabbing pretty progressively, but the punches are rising in quality as they go. And I can say for a fact, Jerry Wess most definitely wrote uphill this battle. His first is a good round. We're going to go through his first more, but even as a good round, it is almost easily the worst of his 3 rounds. It's your core that'll really hurt. Will Smith, it was a whole red table, Jada Pinkett Smith, Will Smith, Yakor, Shakur. So that was dope. Bullets, you would see him on the ruler. Centimeters, the Lu's called the ruler. CM for the centimeters, thought that was dope. And then he's a style breakdown, kind of describing, which he taps into early and actually gets into and plays off of the more this battle goes on. But once again, a breakdown others have taken, that Lu is almost all slogans. It's a bit gimmicky. And then actually pivots it into a flip on the let me win. And then he said, when we're playing Russian roulette, just keep the same energy. That was fire. I think it's his only definitive haymaker in the first round, but it's his ender, and it's a round of still quality content. It definitely, a great comeback round for Jerry. We know Jerry's been gone for a minute. I think at the beginning of his round, he refers to he had a torn Achilles, a couple surgeries, so maybe it's literally he was injured, which is a funny thought to think about in battle rap, but I couldn't imagine performing on a torn ACL, considering how much they move around the stage. And then on to Lu's first round, which I'm sure all people have heard. Lu struggled just to get his material out this battle. He tries a rebuttal off rip. I forgot what he tried to rebuttal, but he stumbled all over it, completely killed it. It was strange. He stumbled right after that again, too. It's hard to even quote some of the bars here because he is stumbling just all through pretty much his entire performance this battle. Then he says he finally gets a clear little passage and says skin inflamed, body changing like puberty. That was dope. Talk about shooting him, skin inflamed. He's dying. I always, but talk about the shots that he's gotten. He's referring to Jerry like, you've wasted some of your shots. I always take advantage of mine, which is questionable. I don't agree, but it's battle rap. You got to play, set up the bar. And he says, I always black. You just kind of black. Like Dominicans, that definitely went over. It was a pretty dope bar. And then he chokes, and it's bad. It's like a minute-plus long choke, and it just leads to him calling his round. He tries to run it back a couple times, so even with Jerry just having a good round, it's still a clear 1-0 body round, and it would only get progressively worse from here. So then we go back on Jerry to start the second round, and he says, beat him at 50%. Even if I do little, I can talk to this big dog. That was slick. And it just goes to show Jerry's writing this battle. I mean, I've never looked at Jerry Wess as a pen-heavy battler. I think that he's a performer in his own right. I think he really is in his own lane in prop utilization, audio utilization. He's a weird kind of unorthodox style, but I always thought his pen was a little bit lacking. and struggling to produce consistent haymakers and good level content would hurt him. And I think it has in certain battles, but for this return battle, I don't have that critique at all. Jerry's pen was maybe his most impressive feat this battle. So, the Doolittle, big dog. I done rob banks without seeing the inside of it. Obviously, he's a scammer bars. It's his thing. I thought that was fire. I thought that was, crazy. I done rob banks without seeing the inside of it. He was able to flip Fonz's slogan, if all I do is punch, block it. And if he say, if I stole your card, stop it. If I took your card, you should have blocked it. That was funny, and it went over well. So it's creativity, very creative content here. And, the pen is, like I'm saying, the pen work is showing better than the last time that we've seen Jerry. Then he gets into the using cards, open doors for me like a hotel. That was dope. Wild, strong, a miscarriage, lose a baby. That was dope too. Like I said, the pen work is getting there. Try to run. It said he shot something about chopping off his leg, but then tried to run, but didn't know it was cut off. Like food stamps, that hit. Tell Luigi while his brother's in red sliding with the poles. That is crazy Mario flip. Like I said, we might have even heard some of the Luigi, some of the wordplay done before, but the concept is, I think, pretty original, and I haven't heard it, spun in that way. Brothers in red sliding with the poles, so that was fire. He had a Golden Girls, oh man, I don't remember the exact, but it was a Golden Girls and then a Betty White. Like when they find the body, I Betty White flip. Crazy. I mean, he's dropping haymaker after haymaker to end the second. And then he says, what else is wild strong? His body over there when they dig him up. Oh, man. Yeah, Jerry went on, a streak that it's like a career highlight, little clip of 3 to 4 haymakers there. I don't think, I had heard this was a lopsided battle, but I don't think anything could have really prepared me for just how great Jerry was, and then compared to how, not so good Lu was, because we get into Lu's second here, and he actually just picks up his second, it seems like, right from where he choked in the first. He had I think it was a let's get this shit, and he picks up right there to start his second. He even says it's going to be a long-ass round, so maybe he combined the first and second, that's why. He has a big cap hit his dome, Doug Dibadome. That was cool. More stumbles, a freestyle about him choking. It's quite awkward. It's a little bit of a meltdown. And then more stumbles to follow that. And then in here, he's got a couple bars towards the end. Only one who should throw bullets for Jerry is Dak Prescott. That was cool. And there was even a little stumble between that. And then he had a Jerry Springer flip. The first bar didn't hit, but he brought it back. And he said headshot, dump his body in a Ricky Lake. It was cool, but this is a clear 2-0. These are 2 body bag rounds, and it was looking bad, and, now we get into the final round. And then to start off this final round, it's back on Jerry in his third. The fans are going to say another Luol Deng. That was dope, referring to Luol Deng, the basketball player. Let's see if he wild strong after I spot the motherfucker. That was hard. So like I said, just a little bit of pen work, man. Here, it goes a long way, because neither of these are haymakers, but when you just have well-plotted punches, so when we look at the end of your round, we have 2 to 3 of the bigger, let's say in an ideal setting, you have 2 to 3 big haymakers, and then you got 4 to 5 strong jabs. It creates a full round. So those in-between bars to me are just so important in terms of winning battles. Pens all you the same, why Castro any different? That was pretty dope. Your pops say, look alive. Now I say, look at me, calling Twerk his dad. So he's performing. He's bringing full aggression here. It's all going in Jerry's favor. And in my opinion, this is the best Jerry Wess ever. I've never seen a better Jerry Wess. He's got some good performances in there. Beating Danny, I know, was big for him, but he wilded the fuck out in this battle. Because I'm whipping the pot with my strong hand. I don't remember the whole setup with it, but that was crazy. It was a haymaker in itself. And then obviously whip the pot is one of Lu's many slogans. And then the crowd's already chanting 30 here before Lu even raps. So yeah, this is pretty bad. He said, I stab, he stab. My man's cut him if I cut him. Whoever I stab, he stab. He had a disease scheme in there. It was all these different, West Nile, Zika. It was fire. I didn't write it all down, but man, it was very fucking creative. And I'm not even a big guy on schemes. I think scheming is one of the easier parts of battle rap. But if you can come up with original schemes, it's the ones that I haven't heard before, I'm always willing to lend an ear. So that was definitely dope. He had a 2K cover scheme about Luca being on the 2K cover. That was pretty good too. I mean, everything he was doing was hitting. Just overkill. You did the train. You did the T-Pain, got your glory on. I let it kick with the fifth, make you do the Omarion. Jesus, man. I got a criminal mind. I could create a profile from scratch like an unsub. For those of you that have seen Criminal Minds, you know how fire that was. FBI creating a profile, for the unsubs when they're trying to find a serial killer. That was crazy. And then speaking of his creativity, he has this audio thing, like something plays over the loudspeaker. Very similar, we all know Jerry Wess has done all types of props and stuff like that. And he did one here kind of relating to scamming, which was crazy. I'm not even going to say it here. When the battle drops, everyone will get to look at it. But it was insanity. And then that was the end of his round. I mean, these last two rounds, especially from Jerry, were some of the best shit that he's ever put out. In my opinion, just off first watch, the best shit he's put out. And then when you get to lose third, it was stumbles, chokes, and a bunch of nothing. I really have it's not a matter of patience. I'm not trying to hate, but he came out here with a very stumbled up, choky performance. And I'm not searching through all this to pick out maybe half a bar of good concepts that he had here. He had some lines in the second, which, I put out there. But overall, I mean, it was just another, really, really bad 30 loss for Lu. And yeah, coming out of this battle, you're seeing DNA has put the pressure on, calling out Jerry Wess for no. And I know some people are hating. I personally stated I like the matchup. I think it has a better chance if there was a day 2 or if it's an 8+ battle card, similar to last year with Gnome 11. It could find its way on one of the first 3 or 4 battles. But, in theory, I know on paper, Jerry Wess versus DNA is not, blowing anyone away. But, guys, if you haven't seen this Jerry performance yet, when you do, maybe you'll have different opinion. Maybe not DNA. Maybe it's just because of the matchup. But Jerry does deserve a big play coming out of this because this was a sensational return performance. As for Lu, we're talking about a lot of battles in a row with a loss here. I'm not going to go, OD. But we know what it is right now, in my opinion. I don't think he deserves another top-tier look for right now or needs another top-tier look. I think he needs to stick battling other mid-tiers and people that he can keep developing. I think Lu still has star potential. There's still good qualities to his game. But this is the manyth battle in a row that it seems like his slogans and is turning more into gimmickiness. And it's just not good. We're talking about dominant losses, not even competitive. So, yeah, not much more to say on that. I think Lu should be, looking at some more mid-tier people that are kind of on his skill level right now. Hopefully he's booked that way. I know he has star potential, so URL is trying to push it. But, let's give, I know Fonz is coming out here, so maybe give Fonz that next star push, for this year and just give Lu a second to develop as a talent. But yeah, 3-0 body bag for Jerry Wess, career highlight performance, like I said, and I'm going to say again, the best Jerry Wess that I personally have ever seen. When you guys see this battle, let me know what you think of it. I might possibly, cover the other 2 battles on Civil War 2. I think it's Nun Sharon and Swamp versus Dot. If I don't, I'll surely give a mention to it. I talk about it on Twitter. If you guys want, my Twitter's in the description. Follow me on there. I'm always good for battle rap dialogue there. And yeah, guys, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think. Let me know what battles you want the URL to release to the app first between Civil War and the LA event that had the Dandy Nitty rematch. I think I said in my last video, but that battle will definitely get a review when it drops. And yeah, guys, it's been J Small Reviews again, and I'm out, y'all. Peace.